Hey y'all, it's Sharla from the Hartsel Homestead here with you on the Creative Retreat Kits YouTube channel with the newest release, What Jesus Needs. We have a beautiful devotional study prepared for us this month by Jenny Lusko with a kit full of gorgeous watercolor florals and a lovely pastel color palette. I am so excited to work with this kit. I have a creative growth goal this year to work more with watercolor and improve that creative area of my life. And so I'm going to do that with this entry today. On the screen, you're going to just see me have some creative time with this watercolor using a number of Creative Retreat pigment inks. So I'm not using a traditional or typical watercolor palette. I'm using the inks, pressing them out, just doing a little smushing onto an acrylic block, and then I add a little color to dilute them. So that way I know that my colors are matching any of the kit elements that I want to bring in. I did use a few colors, so I'll just list them in the description box below. I just wanted to sit down today and enjoy some simple art while I pondered the lesson. I stamped out kind of a floral border using the kit stamp. And I know it's hard to see. My Harvest Gold is really faint. I need a new one. I use this color a lot, but I really just wanted it to give me an outline to kind of guide my painting. I'm going to go back later and do a little bit of kind of like a little pen and ink look, but with a little marker. I'm here in John 4:4 at our focus verse from the devotional. And it reads, "But he needed to go through Samaria." And here Jenny just kind of pauses as she said she was a little caught off guard and puzzled by the verse. And I have to say, when I first read through the kit and saw the kit title, I felt the same way. I thought, what Jesus needs, in the sense of need, as in physical, spiritual, mental necessities, for well-being, like as I would relate to in my human thinking and human needs, I think he lacks for nothing. So I thought, well, this is kind of peculiar. Of course, it piqued my interest, and I read on. He most definitely has all he could ever need or want, right? He doesn't need anything like we do. We need food, we need water, shelter, basic necessities for life. But of course, I love how a devotional read can cause me to pause and look at a familiar scripture closer. We've probably all read this or heard messages on it numerous times, but we didn't stop at that one word to kind of dig a little deeper. And so I really appreciate how Jenny brings to light this entire lesson and deeper thought and study by pausing at this verse with this one word that kind of gives us a little insight. As I do each month, though, I read the devotional, and then I kind of leave it for a few days. I like to ponder it and then let God kind of guide my thoughts over it. What I need to learn from it, so that I share and then, record a takeaway. I came back one morning while doing something else at my journaling table, and I read it again, still pondering what I was going to learn. And then a few days later, my lesson kind of started to come to light. Jesus needed to go through Samaria for the woman's sake, not his specifically. He needed to fulfill that as a need, the word would be used, but it was for the woman's sake. And so I thought on this further. Jesus needed to go to the cross for my sake, for my sins, for my salvation. Jesus needs, what Jesus needs is for me to see him, to really see what he needs from me. He needs my heart, not to bring him anything but willingness and obedience. He doesn't need me to tell him how things are going to come to play or be. He needs me to be willing and obedient, to listen and to love and to follow him. He needs my heart so that I can learn to live like him. He needs me to be submissive and humble myself before him so that I can show others the love of the Father. I spent some time focusing more on what Jesus needs from me so I can do what I have been created to do. So really, it's just taking this, and we can all read this and get a completely different lesson from it. That's how Scripture speaks to us. That's how God works through Scripture in our hearts. And I think that is so wonderful. But this is the lesson that I'm continuing to learn and grow from and throughout the rest of this month. I finished my page here, just creating a little title to record my takeaway using some kit stickers, and then I used a word stamp to fill that in. And I simply added pastel wonky hearts floating all around the title. It's a sweet, simple little entry, but most importantly, it allowed me to sit and have some time to listen to God and ponder lessons that I could take away from this. I hope you'll join us for What Jesus Needs this month. I love to see and hear how God is speaking to each one of us in the community through the same kit and lesson. I hope y'all have a blessed day.